Before he can fix a viable business plan, Peter's determined for Rupert to get a better understanding of the business.
As Rupert's working through his business plan, it's obvious there's a lot of questions he can't answer, particularly in the area of the marketing mix, the 4 Ps, price, product, placement and promotion. So I've asked Bullseye Food Marketing to do some specific research to guide him in the right direction.
Just very briefly, just to look at the Irish beer market, as you can see, the majority of the market is still made up of lager at 61%. It's a big market, €3 billion, so I'm sure you'll be glad to hear that. There's an opportunity there for sure. There was a clear recommendation for the type of packaging you should use as well, which was a 500ml swing top amber bottle. Consumers felt that the amber bottle would fit more with the rustic, handmade, natural imagery of the product. We've done our research and we've located a premium bottle with the swing top amber effect, and it's come in quite reasonably priced at around a 10 cent.
I'm sure this is what you've been waiting to see.
I like the bottle shape is great. The label's lovely. Yeah, no, I like the tag over the top.
We've kept it very simple, very clean. This will actually stand out. It's no frills, it's clean, simple, like your beer.
The personality of the brand is obviously yourself, and we would strongly recommend that you become the icon for the brand, person who makes it by hand at home on his farm. There's 2 price positioning points which we'd recommend for the marketplace. One is for the off-license trade of $3.49, and this is what came out clearly in the research as being the optimum price point for the 500ml bottle. And then for the on-trade, which is your local pubs, a price point of $4.99. I think Rupert got a little bit of a shock the first time we told him what he can expect to get ex-factory, having paid his distributor and wholesaler and the retail trade. What he can expect to make per bottle ex-factory is roughly about $1.50 a bottle ex-factory. That $1.50 has to cover his gross margin and all his overheads.
Based on what Conor has said about the finances and the small cut I'm going to get after everyone else has got their share, the brewery I have at the moment, we're talking about making like €20 a week profit or something ridiculous. I'm going to have to scale up a bit probably, but I'm also going to have to go back and put everything I've learned from Conor today back into my business plan and see now how the numbers are going to work out now.
4 weeks have passed and Rupert's had plenty to think about. Brewing, it seems, may not be the cottage industry he imagined. To compete at an industrial level, he'll have to take a much bigger punt than he was expecting. The question is, how well does all that sit with his original vision?
The Bullseye report just totally changed my entire business plan. It basically had to rewrite it from the start, and it's just opened my eyes. But when I looked through and saw the way that the business would work at that scale, it was quite exciting. But very much realised that this is high volume. I had to be producing a lot more beer than I was expecting to. And the margin that you make on each bottle is a lot less.
So are you going to go down this big scale route then?
The reality of putting the production up considerably not only is a big investment, but would mean that I really wouldn't have any other time for any other part of my business. I'd have to just say enough growing, enough markets. I just need to focus on the beer.
On the brewery to make it a success because of the investment and the commitment required.
Exactly.
You know?
So I was challenged to think about other solutions. And I've just come up with a possible plan, which is to maybe sell my beer more direct.
Okay. What's the main difference there?
Well, the difference is in volume to start with, and the profit margins.
Okay.
The profit margin on the bottle is so much more when I'm selling it direct than if I'm going through a third-party distributor.
What's the difference in profit?
Well, really, it's actually almost double. Through a third-party distributor, I would expect something like 70 cents a bottle.
Okay.
Now, if I go on a direct distribution, the profit doubles.
Right.
And it's more like 130 or 140 profit a bottle.
Including courier costs?
Including everything.
Okay.
But also it means that I'm on a smaller scale, you know, half or nearly third of the volume, which means that my building can accommodate it without the extra investment involved in basic infrastructure.
Will it reduce your production costs?
That would be one of the biggest factors of Connor's. He's managed to source bottles which are maybe 4 times cheaper than I was thinking of paying. And about the same difference with the labels as well. It's actually a huge difference. And because of that, my production costs have halved based on the raw materials, which means now that my smaller scale, with low investment on the farm, is going to work.
Beer when it's cold,
No wonder Rupert's upbeat. His dream is still intact, and now he has a well-researched business plan to back it up. A week later, Peter's returned to Ballycotton to see how things are going.
Any changes in here, Rupert?
Yeah, I've managed to get my hands on a bit of simple equipment.
Yeah, but you're not brewing, so I mean, fill me in on what's stored in the beer.
Well, I suppose I've been focusing on the plan side of things, and I also, running my business, we're in the busiest time of year right now as well. So, but I feel now that I've crossed these hurdles and I'm ready to push forwards and really start this side of things going.
I mean, at this stage, Rupert, what other obstacles are in the way?
I've now learned a lot more about the requirements that are expected of me for sides of the legal side and the revenue side and the health and safety side and the fire safety side. And actually, it's not as overwhelming as I was expecting it would be.
Yeah.
And I think realistically, by Christmas, this will be operational.
I mean, the plans, what you're going to do here, that's all changed now.
Well, because I have to get myself food grade in this facility for the brewing, it means that, well, instead of reducing all the cooking that we do for the markets, I can actually incorporate everything into this one building, which suddenly makes everything much more feasible and much more economically viable. So I can actually have part of this building as a kitchen, and when I'm not using the kitchen, I can be brewing, and I can keep everything working together, and everything's being processed and produced in this building, and really start to develop the idea of the Rupert's Farm brand, where it's not just beer, but there's also all our other products as well. But again, it's really nice that it's rolled back down to this, and the important values that, what's important to me. Well, I want to be on the farm and I want to be around my family. I'd like them to be part of what I'm doing. And the fact that I can keep all of my different farm activities and keep them in this one new facility and really promote the whole thing as one is really exciting. It just seems right.
Although the brewery isn't pumping out the beer yet, Rupert's come a hell of a long way.
I mean, when we met him first, it was all in his head, but he's put it down on paper, and he has a business plan.
Yeah, it's been a great exercise for him. He's very focused. He can see clearly every step of the way, and when you can see it clearly in your head, then you can go and do it.
I mean, he has the packaging, he knows where to source the bottles, he has the skills to produce the beer as well.
And he knows he can make money. He has his cost down to a T. It's going to be profitable.
I mean, I think he looked at the different options, but the one he picked to develop the brewery with the existing businesses will be really good for him.
I think I've been pulled out of my little dream world and plonked rather firmly into reality, and have had a chance to really look into business in a kind of a bigger sense, kind of see how it all works. And I think that my end point I've come back to fills me with huge excitement for the future, and I think I'm dead on track.